Hi, I'm Bryan Painter, page one columnist of the Oklahoman. It's a little ironic for me that Monday is Labor Day. Why? Because I started working in the newspaper business 25 years ago Monday. The job was basic, but so were my skills. With a list of area high school football games and some typing paper and carbon paper and a typewriter, I took football results on Friday nights. There are a lot of ways to look back, but perhaps the most amazing to me is how much the industry has and is changing. By the summer of my first year in newspaper, I was covering American Legion baseball with nothing more than a pencil, a scorebook, and a telephone, one attached to a wall that operated a few coins at a time. I dictated my stories and just prayed that my accent didn't cause problems for the person on the other end. Later came the Radio Shack Tandy laptops, which I've often said were one step beyond the stone tablets, but effective. I'd hook couplers to the laptop, fight off the light bugs hovering around the payphone, and wait for a high-pitched noise which left a beeping sound in my ear long after I'd followed the story. At the State Fair Rodeo, I was not worried about making deadline as much as I was about beating the concert which followed the rodeo. The reason for that was that the vibration from the concert somehow seemed to shake the payphone, which somehow seemed to scramble my stories. I could usually beat them, but one night Tanya Tucker got me about 5 graphs into the story. The big step I often think about is computer-assisted reporting. The first time I really traveled this road was during the coverage of the bombing of the Alfred P. Murrah Federal Building in 1995. We would have a name of a woman, but limited means of finding out about how to contact her or her family. So we'd go to one of a half dozen or so people in the newsroom whose computer could access voter registration records. They'd check for the name and hopefully find it and an address of that person, and then we'd go look for a match in the phone book. It was pretty basic. Now the industry is changing at a pace I've never seen before, such as this, me standing in front of a camera talking. I wouldn't argue with anyone who says that's not necessarily a good thing, me in front of a camera. But this, combined with the web presence of newspapers, is an incredible advancement in our business. Recently, I was able to get an interview with Minnesota Twins manager Ron Gardenhire, an Okmulgee High School grad, the morning after the bridge collapsed in Minneapolis. Back when, I would have had to wait to share his story with you until the following day. Instead, it was on the web in minutes. And that leads to the obvious. Where will the industry go in the next few decades? I don't have an exact answer for that, but I can say I believe in this business and the way it can touch and serve readers, and now viewers, as much or actually even more than I did 25 years ago. Thank you.